This world is not what you think it is. This world is not what you think it is.
Let me ask you something. Are you do you get worried about that? Them kill? I mean, like.
Of course, I totally do. I don't want to be. I just did Fight Companion a couple days ago, or was that yesterday or 2 days ago? And I did the whole thing, no conspiracy theories. I mean, I try to do as many as possible. I try to do as many Fight Companions without getting into anything that'll get me in trouble.
Do they bring you into it?
I don't want it. Sometimes, Brendan likes to drag me into it.
Likes to start shit.
Yeah, he likes to. But you know what? The honest truth really is that the indoctrination system that they have going is so brilliant. It's so good.
Dude, I'm starting to think it's
so
so much even deeper than we originally
so
thought.
good.
It's so long.
I don't want to battle it. It's these people, you're battling people that are in a trance. I don't like doing it. I only like communicating with people that are already on board, already on my frequency, or on the fence. If you're on the fence, I'll talk to you. But if you're way on the other side, I won't even bother. It's just too painful for me. The indoctrination that we got going in this country, worldwide, really, is just so strong. Oh man, what they feed the kids. I got a 6-year-old, and they just drown the kids in space. Everything is space. Space, alien space.
Dinosaurs.
Everything.
Dinosaurs are up their asses.
Yeah,
too.
that's part of the whole story.
Dinosaurs up their asses.
Yeah, definitely. It's all indoctrination of the complete story. The complete story is designed for the fake alien invasion. We talked about that before. It's all about the fake alien invasion. It's all about that shit. It's always been about that shit. Since the dawn of time, ancient emperors, all the huge ones, the ones that ruled Rome, they all wanted a one world government. They all did. The only emperors or rulers that didn't want a one world government were like the rulers of like some small country or some small little village, because they knew if there was one world, they would be out of a job.
Yeah, for
you know what I
sure.
mean? So they were. So it was impossible to pull off the one world government. It's like no regular person's going to be down for it. No one's down for it. They're like, fuck you with that one world
government represent?
You mean like once the people find out like one world government, you mean one dude it's going to be a king and he's gonna we have to listen to him? Nobody is into that. Nobody. And most smaller rulers and emperors, they're not into it either, because they know they're going to just be a regular fucking peasant.
Work.
Yeah, so like fuck that. So they're always trying to figure it out, and they figured it out a long goddamn time ago, that the quickest way to get you have to get people to embrace a one world government. You can't do it by force. It'll never work. You have to have the people embrace it, and the only way they're going to embrace it is if there's a fucking extraterrestrial threat. We will embrace it, just like in the Independence movies, those Independence Day movies.
Star Wars.
Oh, we come together. No, when there's a threat, threat to, like, the aliens are coming. Shit, call the Chinese. They're working on some shit. Everybody's working. Oh, we're friends with fucking Russia. Oh yeah. And they knew that a long time ago, but there was no way they could pull that off. There was no way. There's no way they could pull that off. You know what I mean? Like when I was balls deep in believing in aliens, you watch all those ancient alien shows, and once it was on the History Channel, that's when I started thinking, okay, fuck, it's on the. Yeah, they're pushing this shit. Once whatever they're pushing can't be true. So, but part of that the government's covering up alien thing, they were pretending to cover it up. That they were trying to get us to believe in it, because it's very hard for us to believe in aliens.
Well, Eddie, you brought up to me something I always talk about, and that is how they really do love to put out information that leak it to make us fight with each other. When you talk about that lady who talked about in the Parkland shooting, how she saw the cop with the gun on ABC, like, why would they let that out?
Yeah.
If
They needed
They
a
needed
false
to fight.
They needed an obvious false flag so that we could focus on it. It needed to be obvious.
Right.
And you know those there's people that are part of the UFO community. They all know that there's like these ancient paintings of UFOs and there's one, I think it's in the Vatican somewhere, of like this it's on a blue wall. It's real famous, of like this little alien on some spaceship and it's flying through the, and they painted it. I used to think, just like most people in the UFO community, that was proof that that was some evidence that aliens did exist, because look, they're painting it. But now I look back and it's like, that's their propaganda. That's their Star Trek.
They put that there to get people to talk.
They put exactly. But it wouldn't work. Paintings weren't gonna work. How are you gonna tell the masses, okay, we're being attacked by aliens? We all gotta come together as one. No one's gonna fucking buy that shit.
What is flat Earth in your opinion? What is it? Is it just like is it a simulation? Are we in a simulation?
People are cool with thinking that. People are totally cool with us living in a computer simulation. No one has ever ridiculed for saying, I think we live in a computer. No one has ever. Elon Musk said it. So nobody has ever been ridiculed for that.
Why are they more okay with that than they are with the notion that we might live on a flat plane?
Because as children, we're brought up with Star Trek and Star Wars. They did that shit on purpose. So the indoctrination is so strong. When someone brings up that we could possibly live on a motionless flat plane, I mean, that's what it says in the Bible. All ancient civilizations believed in a flat plane and a firmament and everything. When you put it all together, the only way, if we really do, let's just say we really do, like it says in the Bible and like ancient civilizations, that we live in a special place. It's motionless. It's a flat plane, and there's a firmament. There's a dome. That's what it says in the Bible. If that's true, and there is a creator, how are you going to get people to believe in a fake alien invasion? There's no way. Because if that's true, there's no fucking infinite space. There's no infinite space. So they had to crush not only God or our creator, whatever it is, but they had to crush that model. And when you start looking at the history of it all, you're like, holy shit, it all makes sense. In order to have fake alien invasion, we need infinite space. We need evolution. They need they're a million years, a billion years more advanced than us. So that's evolution. So the dinosaur thing, that's all evolution. Darwin, they were all Freemasons, Jesuits, all of those guys. They're all part of the same team. All the famous astronomers, the ones that are known throughout time, the real famous ones, they're all from the Vatican. The Vatican is pushing infinite space and aliens. They are, because the Vatican, as you know, they're not about Christ.
Yeah.
They're faking their Christ. They're faking it. It's obvious. The Vatican looks very satanic to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Based on the shit that I've seen. Oh my God, like that monument, that sculpture, the resurrection that's behind, like in the Vatican main church. It's called the Resurrection.
In the Reptilian Auditorium.
Yeah, put that up. Put the Vatican, the Resurrection sculpture.
Yeah.
That don't look like Jesus to me.
Put the Throne of Lucifer, I think it's called, actually.
No, it's called the Resurrection.
Really?
It's called the Resurrection. It's a gigantic sculpture. There it is, right there. Look at that shit.
That, dude.
Come on, that is. If you're into that, you're into Satan. There's no way that has anything to do.
You're definitely into lizard
Satan.
people. Go down.
That's fucking
Go
Satan.
to the head.
Dude.
Go to the top
Look at
of the
that
head.
shit. That's the Vatican. That's the Vatican.
Now, do you know that the Pope that stepped down still walks around the Vatican? He's still there. He didn't die. He just quit.
I wonder if he's hanging out with kids.
Now the whole thing. Look at that, dude. What, Aaron? You're a
How
Christian
is that
man.
Jesus? How
what
is
do you
that
think
Jesus?
of that, Christian man? You're a Christian. What do you think of that?
I'm not a Christian. I've
Okay.
been to the Vatican. I did not see this there.
Well, did you go in that auditorium?
Yeah.
You were in the auditorium. You're telling me that's not there?
St. Peter's, it's not in there, no.
So that's a hoax? So this is
You're
No, that
saying-
might be somewhere else. I don't know.
Did you go in the reptilian, the reptilian auditorium?
Look at that shit.
I have no
Look at that
recollection
shit.
of the
So
reptile.
my point is, the Vatican and all the famous astronomers that have made all these calculations of the space and all that shit, they were all from the Vatican. They're all Jesuit Freemasons, and they're giving us the story about what's up, what all those lights are in the sky. They're telling us the story that's not the story. That's not the story. You know, so I'm not a religious guy. I grew up a Catholic, but
Are you religious now?
I'm way more open to the Bible, and now when people start reading me passages from the Bible, now when I listen to it, it sounds like some genius ass shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just when you start certain like the Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
You could Google the Book of Enoch, and the Vatican took that out. They made that officially. They took it out of
Enoch. There it is.
the Book of Enoch. When you read those passages, it sounds like it sounds like a God is writing that. It's filled with wisdom, and I don't know.
Does it scare you to maybe
I don't know.
be religious because you were so not religious maybe for a long time?
I do believe that someone created all this. Something there is.
Is it a traditional God like you see in like
I don't know.
the Bible?
I think most of organized religion is controlled opposition, only because the people you just naturally believe in a creator and a God. So I think what Constantine did when he told the people, okay, we're gonna be Christian, okay, but meanwhile he's a pagan sun worshiper.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a big
Yeah.
part of that Bible is that.
Yeah.
And they put stuff in there that make people fight.
Yeah.
Just like the Quran has stuff in there that like, why is that there? You can't drink, you can't dance, you can't. It's like stuff like that just makes you wonder why they would put that in there. And it just
to turn people off to God. They're strategically they turn, like the Roman Catholic Church, they turn Jesus into a superhero, and that turns people off. And it's a
So
great.
what's
It's
your
a great
take
way.
on Jesus?
I believe that there was a man who, I don't know if his name was Jesus, but I believe there was a Jesus, and I don't believe that he was supernatural. I just believe he was super enlightened. I could be wrong. I don't know, but it seems like he did exist, and man.
Does it scare you to
Yeah.
say this stuff? Because you're like,
I just don't know. All I know is that sculpture, the resurrection, that ain't Christian. That's not good. And whatever's coming out of the Vatican, that's not good.
right.
That's not good.
You know, we
So
did a show.
the Jesuit order comes from the Vatican. I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know.
Are you in the black nobility, dude?
Dude,
We did a
all
whole
this shit
episode on
scares
that.
me.
That shit-
scares. That's why I shut up about this shit. You know what I mean? Luckily, this is a tinfoil hat podcast.
Nobody takes us serious.
Nobody takes it serious, so I could be honest.
Yeah.
But on Joe Rogan's podcast, I'm shutting up more and more.
Oh, well, you have to.
I don't want anybody
It's
tailing
so
me.
big.
I don't want anybody fucking with me.
It's so big.
I gotta control
dude.
myself. You know what I mean? If people ask me, do you think we went to the moon? Fuck no. Do you think that we live on a ball shooting 1,000,000 miles an hour through space, one way, 600,000 miles another way, 60,000 miles another way, and then spinning 1,000? Fuck no. People think I'm an idiot for believing in the flat Earth. It's
Why do
it's
they
crazy.
hate
It's
that
crazy
so
because
much, dude?
it's crazy because I think everyone else is an idiot for not believing it. You know what I
Why
mean? So
are they like?
it's like
it
it's,
seems to
it's
be
like
that
ironic.
Flat Earth and the moon landing seems to be this thing that upsets everybody so much. Now, for me, it's like I make no qualms about. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't even try to attempt to. I was told as a kid we lived on a ball. I've done no research into it, even though I know that there is research into it.
Yeah.
And
there's
I look at
there's
you.
many debates with scientists, flat Earth debates. There's many, and they get crushed. You know what these scientists they always end up saying? You know what? The odds are that it's round. That's what they're saying. The odds are, because they have no proof. There's a debate that just came out by a flat earther named allegedly Dave. That's what he calls
Can you
himself.
look it up?
His name is Dave Murphy, and it's allegedly Dave versus a particle physicist, and he fucking crushes him. No one can fuck with allegedly Dave.
No one can fuck with allegedly Dave.
He's a black dude from the UK, super brilliant, and he just fucking crushes. If you listen to these debates, you're gonna go, oh shit, these motherfuckers. You know, when people say, do you believe in science? It's like, science is so broad. That's ridiculous. It's like saying, do you like music? Like, do you like music? Of course, I believe in science that I don't need to have faith in. You know, I talked about this before. I believe in the science of iPhones because I don't need to read a study that iPhones can get you on the internet and you can watch videos.
Trust the boner, dude.
I don't need a fucking scientific study, you know. But if I have to, most of the space stuff that we get, we have to take their word for it.
Right.
We have to take their word for it. But if all the planets are round and all the stars are round, we must be round. Like, dude, you need to look at those lights in the sky through a telescope yourself. Most people aren't even looking through
So what you're saying is like
They're lights in the sky.
Interpretation of what the moon is and what that, not so much the moon, but the Jupiter and all these planets are basically based on what NASA has told us, but no one's actually tried to look at these things through a telescope to see.
And I didn't say no one. I said most people.
Most people.
And when you do look at those wandering stars, which were changed to planets, they're not what you. It's not those images that NASA gives you. They're lights in the sky. They're little, and it doesn't make any sense. Like for instance, try to understand this. This is the heliocentric model, right? Let's just say this is the sun, right? And we have all these planets going around the sun, right? Mercury is the one closest to the sun, and then Venus is going this way, and then Earth is the third one, third rock in the sun, and then Mars, and then Saturn, right?
Yeah.
So imagine this. This is Earth, and then we got Mercury and Venus here.
Yes.
Right? It takes a year to go around the sun. It takes a year. It takes 6 months to get to the sun. This is what they're telling us. This is what they're telling us, right?
Okay.
Right?
Right.
I'm not making this up.
I'm listening to you.
So as our planet is going around the sun, it's daytime on the part of Earth that's facing the sun. There's no way this side of Earth is nighttime when the sun is on the inside. Nighttime is always on the outside.
Right.
It's always on the
Right,
outside.
right.
So we're looking so if I'm right here,
Right.
right? We're looking at the nighttime
Yeah.
and all the stars over here
Right.
on this side of the room.
Right. Right.
But on the other side of the sun, there's a bunch of other stars, right?
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You could only see, like I could only see this side of the universe.
Okay.
Right? But when in 6 months, when I'm on this side, I could only see at night. It's only night when this side is facing out. So I only could see this side of the room. Does that make sense?
No. Well,
Right?
the only reason I have a problem with that is because what we see is this. We see the sun though, so
Listen.
we do
No,
see
no,
this
let me-
way.
Constellation.
Listen. Here's the Earth on this side. It's
Yeah.
only nighttime on this side
Right.
because the sun's over here. The sun is shining over here, so it's daytime
Right.
on the.
So,
when
it's nighttime here. It's daytime in Australia, right?
you're not following me.
Okay.
We're just talking about just us.
Okay.
Don't worry about Australia. or nothing.
Okay,
It could be like that, but
Okay.
it could be. But
Okay.
so this side of the Earth is what, nighttime?
Yes. Yes. So yeah,
It's nighttime or daytime?
that's nighttime.
This side of the Earth is what?
Sun, daytime.
Yeah, because the sun's on the
Right,
inside.
right,
there.
right.
So when it's daytime, we're facing
The
according the sun.
Yes.
If this is true, right?
Okay.
All right. So we got all these stars over here that we're seeing at night.
All right.
6 months later, we're seeing all those stars, right?
Right.
And then 6 months later back, we're seeing all those stars, right? So there should be, every 3 months or 6 months, there should be a different set of stars.
Constellation.
We
Yeah, I
shouldn't
was
see
telling
the,
you.
we shouldn't see the same
Yeah, 'cause you can
constellations.
see the same
Why
constellation
Why do we?
every time.
Why do we see the Big Dipper
Every night.
every night?
Oh.
It's real simple.
Okay.
The shit's wrong. And then check this
Aaron,
out.
thoughts on
And
that?
then no, check this out. Now check this out. Now
Okay.
Now we have the same thing. Now you think about this. Now think about the planets now, right?
Okay.
Mercury's on its own little, according to what they say, Mercury is right here going on its own little orbit, and then Venus, and then Earth, and then Saturn, or then Mars, and Saturn, and Jupiter.
Blah, blah, blah,
Right?
Pluto. Yeah.
There's 8 of them, right? So, at night, okay, let's just say it's day 1 here at night. What are the odds that we could see all the fucking planets? How come there's no planets like on a rotation over here? Like maybe Mars is over here, Jupiter's over there. Every night we should not be able to see every fucking planet because they're on their own. They could be on the other side of the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
But yet you want to go out there and see Saturn, you can see it. How come Saturn isn't over here? And then when Earth comes around in 6 months and it's on this side, maybe Saturn's over there on the other side. So at least or around half the time at night, the other 7 planets should be behind the sun somewhere on its own orbit. How is it that we can see that? We can see the Big Dipper every fucking night. We can see Polaris every fucking night.
In the same spot too, right?
Dude, it goes on forever. Their whole model can easily be broken down. Allegedly, Dave would crush anybody. He's done many on. You can go to YouTube.
He just went on a particle physicist.
Yeah.
It was him, and his name's allegedly Dave, and the other guy actually has an actual name.
Yeah. Well, his name is Dave Murphy, but that was his YouTube name for a while.
Yeah, don't play it.
No, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it.
Yeah.
He absolutely destroys this, but it's sad. It's really, really sad. And he does it to everybody because he breaks them down. Because most of these scientists, even like Neil deGrasse Tyson, they're not doing any science. They're just memorizing science books and doing mathematics.
Well, that's a big part of our education system. Isn't necessarily that you're smart. You're just able to follow patterns.
Yeah, like
and regurgitate
can you
information.
name, if you Google the distance of the sun from Earth, you're going to get 93 million miles an hour. Can you name one scientist and the experiment that he did and explain how someone figured it out? Nobody can, but yet everyone accepts it. Name two astrophysicists who figured out that the sun was 93 million miles away and then tell me exactly how they did it. It's a fucking mystery. They're talking about like triangulating Venus, and when you look into it, there's some kind of laser pointer that NASA has that they built in 1961 that they could tell the distance from Earth to Venus, and they triangle. So, but only NASA has this laser beam, and that's how they. Dude, you go outside and look at the sun. That motherfucker's not 93 million miles away. Look at that shit. That shit's close. The sun is fucking close. It's about 3,000 miles away. It ain't 93 million miles away.
Man.
The sun and the moon is its own light source. It's not reflecting the sun. There's no doubt about that. The moon is its own luminary.
Do you know that there was a time in this where, there were civilizations that talked about the time when there was no moon?
I don't know about that.
But they say there was.
But
remember there was
the
no
reason we're getting hit with this 2001 Space Odyssey, Star Wars up your fucking ass, Star Trek,
Wars,
everything. The reason we're getting hit with that is for they need us to believe in infinite space before they launch the fake alien invasion. And now you know who Wernher von Braun is?
Yes.
Wernher von Braun was Hitler's right-hand man. He was his rocket scientist, and after World War II, the United States took about 1,200 Nazi scientists, including Operation Paperclip, including, people know this, but then they know this, and then they still just go along with it. They took all these Nazi scientists, and they took Wernher von Braun, and he fucking was the head of NASA. He's the head of NASA.
Yeah, he
directed all 6 moon missions. And when he died, he had cancer for about a couple years before he died. And when he got cancer, during the last 4 years of his life, he hired this woman, Dr. Carol Roslin, and she was his assistant, his prepared speeches for him for 4 years. And she said, and you could go on YouTube and hear her talk about this all the time. She said, that he told her that the final that they're going to they're creating enemies. They need to create enemies. There's going to be terrorists from the Middle East, and then there's going to be the threat of an asteroid. They need, according to Warner von Braun,
like a crisis.
They need a crisis. They need a reason to start a Star Wars project, like a weaponized space. And Warner von Braun told Dr. Carol Roslin, look that shit up. She'll tell you right out of her mouth. She said that he told her over and over again, the final threat is a fake alien invasion, and it's going to be a lie. He told her over and over for 4 years. Wouldn't get into detail. She said he would not explain or go into detail, but he made it really clear. On his deathbed, he made it clear to the day he died, the final conflict is going to be a fake alien invasion. And, and it makes sense. They're just...
some people that were involved in the creation of NASA was Jack Parsons.
And what isn't he a Satanist?
A Satanist.
And what about
Walt Disney too?
Walt Disney and Werner von Braun were
Nazis.
They were boys.
And
that's why you go to Disneyland and it's Space Mountain, and Disneyland was big in pushing space and getting space into
everyone's
everyone's
head. Guess who else had something to do with it? L. Ron Hubbard. Nobody talks about that because L. Ron Hubbard was
science fiction writer,
best friends with Jack W. Parsons, and L. Ron Hubbard ended up banging Jack's wife, and it just caused chaos.
Throw Anton LaVey in there, the founder of the Satanic Church.
Aleister Crowley, was
exactly.
a big friend of all
when
them.
you start putting all those characters together in the same fucking room,
I can't wait to hear
it. Makes sense. It makes sense that they are trying to. They're creating this infinite space, but it's all fake. It's not
crazy,
infinite.
Dude.
It's not infinite. We're not. I don't believe in infinite space. I used to. Shit, I was balls deep in all that. Me and Joe, we were balls deep in space documentaries. That was my favorite shit to watch. I TiVo'd anything about space. Space, comedy, fighting. Space, comedy, fighting.
Those are fun things.
Oh, dude, space. I was trying to remember everything about a neutron star, super hypernova, put those lyrics in. I would write about that shit. I was balls deep in my 30s, dude. So I was fully into it. And most flat earthers, same thing. Balls deep into space, fucking just ate it all up. And when they first heard it, every flat earther, when they first hear about it, they get disgusted. Like I thought I wanted to fucking punch dudes in the face. Like, get that shit out of here. With that CIA psyop, flat fucking Earth. Everyone, no one ever accepts flat Earth and goes, oh wait, that makes sense. That indoctrination is too deep. It's like religion. It really is. Space is religion. Space is
science. Is religion.
Space is Santa Claus. That's what that is. It's what it says in the Bible. That's what I believe it is. There's a firmament. And then check this out. When Werner von Braun died, put up Werner von Braun's tombstone.
Okay.
Dude, on his day, he was trying to tell people.
Try to
on his
spell
tombstone.
that one fucking.
Put tombstone. He has a Bible verse. He has a Bible verse. Look at that. Werner von Braun. What does it say? Psalm what? 19:1?
19:1.
Watch, and then go read what that is. Now put up Psalm 19:1.
Oh, there it is at the bottom. Bam. Look at that.
Put
what
that
does
in.
it mean?
Put that up. Now what does it say? What is that? What is that song?
Okay.
This is coming from the dude who faked 6 moon missions. Look at that.
The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sueth.
The firmament.
The firmament
sueth his handiwork. Now the firmament, that's the dome. That's what separates the heavens from earth, or the waters from above and the waters from below. That's the firmament. That's the dome. That's when flat earthers believe in a dome. They're actually talking about the firmament.
Shut up, dude.
That was on Werner von Braun's tombstone. Get the fuck out of here, right? Look at that.
Dude. Shut up.
The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork. That's what Werner von Braun put on his tombstone? Get the fuck out of here. That's a deathbed confessional right there. That's the guy who faked 6 moon missions.
Dude.
Put that shit on his tombstone.
Oh my God.
At what point when does everyone has
Google
a
what is a firmament?
yeah? What is the firmament?
What is the firmament? Don't get rid of this page. Open another
Open
page.
one?
Yeah, I want to keep that on there because that shit is weird. Go open that.
Come on, man.
Hey,
did
dude.
you just find out about this?
I did.
At
dude.
what point does the bullshit meter go off? At some point, everybody got a bullshit meter.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you.
At some
Eddie,
point, your bullshit
you
meter
and I
gotta
agree on
go off.
so much that I always go, how can we agree on everything and disagree on this one fucking thing?
You don't disagree on it inside. You believe it, but you feel like it'll ruin your
Okay,
career.
the heavens and sky, especially when regarded as a tangible thing, a spirit or worldview from a collectible people. I don't know if that. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. A Bible definition. No. Put in firmament dome. See if that comes up. Oh my God! Is a structure above a conceived as a vast solid dome.
And that's what Werner von Braun put on his tombstone, dude. Come on.
Aaron, that looks like the fucking
There's
Hollywood
an
Bowl.
underworld too. There's an underworld right there.
They're lying to us about space, man. That's. I'll never.
What
go
is
back
on the
to
other
it.
side of the dome?
Heaven of the heavens. That's what it says.
What is that?
No one knows. People say, "Well, where's the proof of flat Earth?" Like, dude, we're not the ones with all the NASA $18 billion budget. You know what I mean? We don't have to prove shit. You have to prove what you should ram
Oh
down our
my
throats
God,
as
dude,
children.
you're blowing
You know what I
my
mean?
mind.
All we're doing is breaking down what you're saying. We don't have to prove. We don't have any equipment. We can't. How are we going to prove it?
You're
But you know
blowing
one.
my mind.
You know one thing that we can prove that I know for sure is that most of the Earth is water, right?
Yeah.
70-80%.
Yeah.
And water always finds its level, man. The only thing that's holding them together is the theory of gravity. Gravity hasn't been proved. There's no proof of gravity. You know, people go, oh look, there's proof. Look, I lift this up and proof. All that's proof is this is more dense than the medium around it. What about a helium balloon? Helium balloon ain't gonna go down. It goes up, but it defied gravity? No, helium is less dense than the air around it, so it rises. You drop a boulder in the ocean, it sinks right to the ground. You drop a beach ball in the ocean, it stays right there at the top because the water is less dense, or the air in that ball is less dense than the water. How come the gravity doesn't pull it down at the bottom where the rock went? How come gravity can't hold the fucking... Gravity is so strong that it's holding oceans stuck to a ball, but it can't hold a fucking helium balloon. A little bee can fly, a little butterfly can fly. You think if it could hold down buildings and shit and oceans, the butterflies would be stuck to the ground. They'd be stuck, like we wouldn't be able to move. That gravity's so powerful, it's got to hold the oceans to it so it doesn't just go fling it off.
Oh man.
Gravity's a theory. It's all about density. You could take a steel anvil or an iron anvil, whatever anvils are made of, and put it in liquid mercury and it'll float. Why doesn't it sink? Because it's less dense than the liquid mercury. It's all about density and buoyancy.
So what point do they say you could see a curve in the earth?
Well, this is what people always say. This is what dumb motherfuckers always say. Go, have you ever been in a plane? Just look out a plane and you can fucking see the curve. And planes fly at 35,000 feet.
And then they say the window has a curvage on it.
Well, that's what you're looking at.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Because Neil deGrasse Tyson is the poster boy for modern astrophysics.
And he's the only
You know
one
what I mean?
he's the only one you can name.
No, exactly. And so this is how it goes. All these people are saying, yeah, I could see fucking curvature from a plane, and pilots, I see the curvature from a plane or whatever. But there have been many on YouTube amateur balloons that go up 120,000 feet. 120,000 feet, and there's no fucking curve at 120,000 feet. So what did Neil deGrasse Tyson say? He had to say, listen, at 120, he says this on video, at 120,000 feet, that's not high enough to see any curvature. So, okay, let's just say he's right. Then all these people who think they can see curvature out of a plane, they're
lying because it's obviously not possible.
They're not lying. They actually believe it, but it's not what they're saying. Your boy Neil deGrasse Tyson said even at 120,000 feet, you can't see it. So how you seeing it at 35,000 feet? What do you got? Superman fucking vision? You know what I mean? So according to the mainstream official story, at 120,000 feet, because that's the limit of the balloons, the amateur balloons are going up with cameras. They go, nope, no curve at 120,000 feet. So Neil deGrasse Tyson had to come out and basically, what he did is he debunked the Red Bull jump. Because everyone's saying, look at the Red Bull jump. You could see when he jumps off, you could see the earth in the background, and there's a curve, and he jumped out at 120,000 feet, and there's curve, so the Red Bull jump proves curve. So Neil deGrasse Tyson crushed that Red Bull jump. It's on video. It's on video. You can watch crushing the Red Bull jump because that is so bullshit. You can't see curve at 120,000 feet. And he goes, and he crushed the video footage. He goes, and then he crushed the video because people were saying, look at the video of the Red Bull jump. You could see curvature. Neil deGrasse Tyson says, that's not curvature. That's a fisheye lens. Fisheye lens can make this room look curved. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he had to admit that the footage, like anytime you see footage from like coming from like the ISS, the International Space Station, that's all fisheye lens, and people they don't even see it. They're like you, it's like
That's so dumb. I wanted to show you. I took a picture of me on the flight. I sent it to you, and we were at the highest.
No,
level.
I saw that.
It was just it just keeps going.
Yeah. The horizon always rises to the eye of the beholder.
I don't know why.
Same thing with the camera,
that, dude.
The horizon always rises. No matter how high you go, the horizon's always going to be at eye level. If we were on a ball, the horizon would not rise.
It just keeps going.
Yeah, it keeps going.
It just keeps fucking going.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because it does keep going. Okay, here's the big question, tough guy. What happens when you get to the ice wall?
You
What
can't.
happens at that moment?
First of all, Antarctica is there's a treaty. All the countries signed it. You cannot. No one could just go to Antarctica and go explore. You have to get permits. Really hard to get permits. And what they do is you can go to Antarctica. There's got this little spot where you can go where tourists go and take pictures. And they got a symbolic South Pole. They admit it's not the real South Pole. The real South Pole is obviously not right here, but this is symbolic South Pole. And there's let's just say Antarctica is as big as North America, and they let people go to.
Yeah, they let people go to Jersey Shore, but can't come to Santa Monica.
Exactly. So there's people that go, I've been in plenty of people have been to Antarctica. Yes, you haven't gone deep. No one knows what the fuck is. And the crazy thing is, we are surrounded by ice wall. You can see it on video. It's all over YouTube. People say, what is there, an ice wall? Like, yeah, there's plenty of video.
Where is it? Go look
Just
at
punch in as Antarctica ice wall. It's everywhere. These aren't icebergs. They're fucking ice walls that are 100 to 200 feet up. Look at that. There's plenty of the ice wall. There's all sorts of. Where's the ice wall? There's right there. Look, ice wall. That's not an ice wall. It's an iceberg, dude. That's a fucking wall.
That was
That's
like
a
something
wall.
out of Game of Thrones, dude.
Yeah, look.
Hold
There's just
the
look at that.
wall.
It just goes. It just surrounds us. We're just surrounded by
So when
ice
I
wall.
fly there, I'm not necessarily allowed to.
Look at that. That's a fucking ice wall. That's the ice wall, dude. What is that? Oh, that's an iceberg. It's ice wall. It's not an iceberg.
So you're not with these flat Earth people.
Look at that. Look at that ship right there. Go back. Look at that ship. Look at that shit.
And you know that's massive. That ain't no fucking.
Dude. Look at that, and it goes on forever. You think that's an iceberg? It's not a fucking iceberg, dude. Look at that. That's an ice wall, dude. That's what's holding us together. That's what's holding the oceans together. The oceans are flat. Water always finds its level. That's you know what science is? The science of water. The science of water is that water always finds its level. That's science.
So what does that mean?
Look. Level. No matter what.
Oh, it's always flat.
It's always level. They use those what do they call those things? With those levelers, like construction.
A lever.
What are those called?
They check for it to make sure shit's level.
What is that called?
You know what's the main?
It's a level. I'm pretty sure.
You know what the main
construction
component?
One, the one that got
The
the
main
little
component
ball
is
in
water.
it. The water, yeah. The one that's got
It's
the little
water.
ball in it. And you got to perfectly align it.
Water always finds its level. Water always finds its level. There's the physics of water, the science of water. Water always finds its level, and water always conforms to the interior of a container, not the exterior of a container. You can't do that anywhere. I could do this in every city of the whole world. I can do this experiment. Look, level, repeatable, measurable, and it always conforms to the inside of a container, not the outside. So all that, like we're on a ball and the oceans are conforming to the outside of the ball, and then there's this mystical, magical, powerful force, gravity, holding it together. So wait a minute, we got inertia that's trying to fling the water off the ball as it spins 1,000 miles an hour, but then the gravity is fighting. There's a battle between the inertia and the gravity, but there's no sign of this battle, and there's no sign of like inertia battling gravity. Gravity, can't lose to the inertia, because then the water will just fling off like a spinning tennis ball that's wet. It's all just theory. People just, it's scientism. That's scientism. It's shit you have to believe. You have to believe that shit. You have to believe in gravity. You can't know gravity. You have to believe in it. You have to believe that the world is spinning. You have to believe it, because they can't prove it. So you must believe it.
Is it possible
You have
that
to
we're in a
believe it.
petri dish and we're one of many things, or
Whatever it is, it's level. Whatever it is, it's a flat plane. It could be bigger. There's theories that we're in this, this circular puddle, and like the middle is North America or the North Pole. And here's another thing that we know too, that we don't have to believe. There's a couple things that we don't have to believe. If we have a compass anywhere, a compass is always going to point to the middle, to the center, or to the North Pole. We all know that. We don't have to read a study that says 12 scientists have finally confirmed it. Compasses point to the north. We don't have to. We already know that. So we know that. And what else do we also know? We also know that coincidentally, right over the North Pole, where all the compasses are pointing to, because there's this force, the compasses are pointing to this force in the center. Because if you look at the flat Earth model, where the North Pole is the center, and everywhere you go south, you're gonna hit the wall. You're gonna hit the south. The Antarctic is this all the way around. And when Captain Cook circumnavigated Antarctica, he went 60,000 miles. That's 60,000 miles. Makes sense if you go like this, but not in the official version of Antarctica. It would have been, maybe 10,000 miles. That's 60,000 miles. Like all those explorers that try to find a way in Antarctica, they all got lost. Nothing made sense. It took years. You look into all those explorations. It was baffling. That's why Richard Byrd had to go in there with the fucking Navy 3 different times. He went in and they went in fucking balls deep with fucking naval ships and shit. They go, we got to find out what the fuck is on the other side. You know what I mean? They talk about polar ice caps melting. Fuck you. Maybe the North Pole, maybe the center is, that's melting, but the Antarctica isn't fucking melting. It's colder than ever. So anyways, so we know that compasses point to the north, and we also know that Polaris, the North Star, is right over the North Pole. And then when you look at, I don't need a scientist to confirm that. I know that. So coincidentally, all the place that all compasses are pointing to, because there's this magnetic force, Polaris is right over it, and all the other lights, aka stars, are all rotating around Polaris. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. And then in the flat Earth model, the sun and the moon are rotating around this force too. They're going around like this, and they're local and small. The sun and the moon, same size. Brother and sister.
For sure? Sun and moon same size?
I don't know nothing for sure. This is just me talking shit.
That's the way you see it though? Like,
that's what a lot of people say it. They're the same size. They're the same altitude. They're on the same path. How is that? What a coincidence. What a fucking coincidence that the heliocentric model, right? We got the Earth here and the sun here, and the Earth is spinning and it's going around the sun. But we have a moon. We have a moon. That's nothing to do with the sun. But coincidentally, it's on the same goddamn path as the sun. How is that? What are the fucking odds of that? It should be on a whole different fucking path. The moon should be doing some different shit than the sun's doing, as it appears to us. But it's moving the exact same fucking path. It's going around like this. It's like clockwise. They're both going around. And the sun's a little faster. And then the sun will always catch it. And anytime the sun and the moon get close together, the moon's light goes off. Like if it gets too close to the sun, the moon, you can't see it. Like it's an illuminary. Like its electrical or magnetic charge disappears. It's crazy. But it's a full moon when they're exactly 180 degrees apart like this. That's when we see full moons. But when it starts going over here, when it's like this, that's when you see crescent moons. It's like the sun's magnetism is like kind of is affecting the light of the moon. Remember, the moon is not reflecting the sun's light. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
It's its own light, right?
It's its own light. It's bullshit because on full moons, it happens when the sun appears to set here and it disappears. And then like an hour after sunset, the moon is always here. I keep track of the moon. It's always right here and it's a full moon. How is it going to be a full moon? The earth should be blocking it 100%. You shouldn't be able to see the moon at all, but yet it's a full moon. The sun sets, earth here, moon here, they're exactly 180 degrees apart.
There should be no moon.
There shouldn't be no reflection of the sun because the earth is right in the way. But yet it's a full moon. Look at that full moon. That shit's its own light. It's its own light. And the difference between sunlight and moonlight, sunlight is hotter. Sunlight is warmer in the direct sunlight than it is in the shade, obviously, right? Moonlight is different. Moonlight is colder in the moonlight and warmer in the moon shade. You can watch that shit on YouTube. There's all these experiments. Moonlight and sunlight are different kinds of light, but they're their own light. Everything we've been taught about space is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Either that or I'm crazy as fuck. I could be. Am I that stupid? Am I really that stupid?
Well, I'll say this for you. All the stuff that you and I talk about, I know you're 100% correct on.
You're on your way to flat Earth. You just think it's gonna ruin your career. You know how many smart motherfuckers, brilliant guys that we talk about flat Earth off the record. But they'll tell me, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. They feel like it's going to ruin their life's work. They put so much time into a certain subject, like you have 9/11 experts and CIA experts and all that. And most people that are balls deep into like MK Ultra and how like we've been totally brainwashed through the media and movies and all that shit. They understand flat Earth. Like eventually, it all makes sense. Because think about it. Everything you see, all the mainstream news is bullshit, right? So it's not bullshit when they throw in, we just discovered 7 new planets in another fucking galaxy. That's real. And you're saying everything is bullshit. All these conspiracy theorists out there, like, fuck seeing it. Like, Trump's like, fake news. I like that. Trump, that's one thing I like about Trump. He's calling them out as fake news. That's good to me. But when they talk about NASA discoveries, that's real.
Hey, dude.
That's real? Like that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You should be doubting that. You should look at that and go, oh, shit.
Is NASA Hebrew for to deceive? Have you ever seen that? Hebrew to deceive. Fucking movies, dude. Like 5 years ago, I didn't believe movies were propaganda tools. Now I believe that the entertainment business its sole purpose is to use entertainment to further indoctrinate the people. Kids are so easily influenced. Yes.
That's why there's all this programming. Like dictators, rulers, tyrants, they've all known the way to ensure your dominance and your control is to capture the minds of the children and brainwash the fuck out of them. That's like building an empire 101. That's the first rule. Take control of the kids. That's it. Because in about 10 years, they're going to be your soldiers. And you want them fucking all in line. And think of, man, they really want kids to believe in fucking space, dude. They want kids to believe. They got NASA fucking outfits for babies, dude.
I'm with you.
They get $18 billion a year,
Yeah.
and that's a year. So over the last
Some money.
last decade, 100 billion, right? What have we gotten for that 100 billion? When you listen to them talk, it's funny. When you listen when they got they're pretending they're in the International Space Station, they'll always say, yeah, you know, we're doing a lot of scientific studies up here that are going to help us, you know, get further into space. They never talk about what they're doing, but they always say we're doing some important scientific research up here that's going to help us, you know, propel the human race further and further into the solar system. They always say that shit, but they never say what the fuck they're doing. Oh, we're doing some important research.
How
up here.
crazy is it that like every advance into everything, every technology is advanced except for the space shuttle. The space shuttle is the same space shuttle it's been for a fucking bazillion years.
They cut that space shuttle. They
And how about
stopped.
this? How about the fact that China goes to space, goes to the moon, and sends an unmanned thing to the moon, which is
Have you
what
seen
they
that
said.
footage?
But listen,
Have you seen that footage? It's
dude,
worse than Tim and Eric.
if you could put people on the moon, China would have sent somebody to the moon because they don't give a fuck about Chinese. They'll throw 5 fucking Chinese dude in a rocket and have it explode, and they don't care because there's 2 billion of them.
Dude, watch the footage. China's pulling some bullshit too. They're all pulling
Because
bullshit.
they're being ran by the same.
Yeah,
fucking
they're all
Syrians.
pulling bullshit. Is
Wow. Just wow.
that too much?
It's a lot, Eddie. It would take me a while to even try to.
I would like
hit every
one
point.
time, Aaron, for us to have a real sit down because, listen, I'm open to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like when he said the dome thing on the guy who invented the NASA. I mean, that was kind of interesting, right?
No.
The Psalm?
No.
That it has to do with the dome?
The Bible can be interpreted so many different ways.
No, but that word is straight up what it...
You saw that the Google definition for firmament was not the same as the Bible's definition. So I mean,
But it's quoting the Bible version.
but that doesn't mean that's what he wanted.
He wanted the Google version. so-
Maybe.
Well, the
He probably
CIA
invented Google,
was
so-
invented by Nazis again.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, yeah. Because they were Nazis doesn't mean they're not
Did
smart.
you open your
It's-
mind to
it's
maybe
very
some
strange.
of the stuff? How about what he said about the stars? How come the stars are always in the same place no
They
matter
are.
where we are in the universe?
They move.
Okay.
No.
The
They
stars
do
move
move. No, they
everywhere.
do move. They're rotating around us. They spin around Polaris. They do move. I did say that. But you still you see like the Big Dipper all year round. It moves. It moves in like a circle in the sky. It moves.
That's
It
an
does.
interesting-
But
It's so
it's still you
far-
could still see it.
It's so far away. It would
No, it
have,
doesn't matter.
It would
You
have
could
to
only-
be closer
It
for
doesn't.
it to be
No,
for it
he-
to go completely out of our sight.
He didn't understand my analogy of when you're on one side of the sun.
I understand your
you only
analogy,
could
and
see-
that's
you
your
could
analogy was actually very cool and interesting.
Oh,
I
thank
will-
you.
I
Whoa,
will give you
dude, that's
that,
a
like-
big win,
that's-
dude.
that's
a win.
a big
Let's leave it at
win.
that. Let's leave
We're
it
gonna
at
leave
that.
it on that.
Even children, especially the children of soul. This is where the
Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
This world is not what you think it is. This world is not what you think it is. Oh, oh.